what is that mistake, and how, some people and some coaches might say, it's like, look, before you even open the door, what is your exit? And then you work backwards. What do you want? Do you want to sell for 5 times gross? What is the industry? Because I know hotels, maybe 4.5, 5 times gross, and you have this buildup. And because I have investors, it's like, hey, this is a 5 to 7 year exit. It's kind of easier for me because I kind of have to have it. And then I just look at gross revenues and say, okay, I need to build it up and do this in order to achieve, you know, 5 times gross or 4 times gross. What are some of the things that you can tell people? It's like, look, what is an exit? Okay, it's selling, but what is that plan? Is it, I need to increase gross, or I need to do this? What is the exit strategy?
So I kind of came up with the what I call it. There's lots of names for it, but what I call it is exit without exiting. I actually wrote a best-selling book called Exit Without Exiting. So if you're watching this on
Mhm.
YouTube, I'm holding up the book now. You can see a picture of that. And
Yeah.
if you'll remind me, Michael, at the end, I'll be happy to give your listeners a free copy of that physical book. Just
Mhm.
remind me at the end, and I'll make sure that we can set that up with the link.
Okay.
But when I met with my business coach and we were talking about options and I talked about exiting and
Mhm.
what most people think about when they hear the word exit, they think about selling.
Right.
And that was what I thought because I didn't really know. And I said, well, I think I'm ready to get out of this thing. I don't really like the lighting business. That's what I'd started. I don't
Mhm.
really understand. I don't really enjoy that industry, even though I very much understand it now. And he said, well, the problem is the reason you want out is the same reason nobody will want in. He said, because it's you. You're the linchpin of everything in the business. And that was the mistake. And if
Mm.
you think about it this way, if you think about a pyramid, there are three tiers in this pyramid, and that's what entrepreneurs go through this evolution. Tier one is the owner operator, and that's where most people
Yep.
stay.
Yep.
Tier two is a slice in the middle called the owner manager. And I had graduated into tier two. I had a really good team. I think we had 20
Mm.
something employees. We were operating in projects all over the country. Things were going really well, but it still relied on me. I still signed the checks, so to speak, even though
Yeah.
technically I didn't have to sign checks, but you get the point. I had to
Yeah.
I had to manage and make sure that things were done correctly.
Mhm.
And then the final tier in the entrepreneurship is the very tip top, and only probably 1 to 2% of entrepreneurs ever reach that, and that is owner investor. Owner
Mm.
investor. And most owner operators never even know that there's an owner manager tier, and owner managers don't even know that there's an owner investor tier. And so for me, you're asking, well, how do you know what to exit? What's the plan? When I sat down with my business coach and said, I want out, he said, the reason you want out is the same reason nobody wants in because everything relies on you. Well, I was like, well, that's not going to work. How do I get myself extricated from the daily operations of this business so that it can't actually be worth something? And in the process of getting myself out of the weeds of daily operations, it occurred to me, oh, now I have an asset paying me money whether I show up or not. That sounds like real estate, doesn't it, Michael?
It does.
So I said, well, why don't I just hold on to it? I don't need to sell it.
Mm.
And that's what I did. So I moved my office out of the office building. I didn't have a desk in there anymore. I gave up my desk to somebody else. And
Okay.
I came in the office once a week just to check on things. And then eventually once a month. And then eventually I was just calling, there were people calling me like, "Hey, here's what's going on." That was it. And so as I ran into colleagues and people that knew me, they said, "Hey, did you exit?" I'm like, "No, well, yeah. Oh, you sold your business?" "No, I didn't sell it." And that's how exit without exiting, kind of the phrase was born because people saw that I'd exited, but I really didn't exit. So it's exit without exiting. And so if you can build your business where it runs without you and it's throwing cash flow, why would you sell it? Now, people have reasons for it, but why would you? If you're making, let's say you're making 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 grand a month and you don't have to show up, I mean, is there really a reason to sell it?
Yeah. That's, yeah. I mean, just start something else. Do the same thing.
Hey there, it's the Real Jason Duncan. Thank you for watching this video. If you are an entrepreneur and you've ever thought about what it's going to be like when you get ready to exit your business, I'm the guy you want to follow. So make sure that you've subscribed to this channel and go check out the link in the description, therealjasonduncan.com. Check out the resources I've got for people just like you, as an entrepreneur who's trying to get his life back, get her life back, get your time and freedom back. We've got a couple other videos you might be interested in. There's one here and there's one here. If that's what you want as an entrepreneur, if you're being trapped in your business, then I can help you get out of that. So go to therealjasonduncan.com. The link is in the description and check out one of these videos. I'll see you next time.